Okay, so this is the thing I said last Friday when the Mariners won the ALDS after 15 innings. I had a couple of people were here, and they were all this. It was the longest game in the history of games, and it was terrible. Right now, they did end up winning, which was fine.
Yeah.
But my buddy's like, "Oh, they're doing the championship. They're so great." I'm like, "Look, number one, I have been a Mariners fan my whole life. It is only a matter of time before they Mariners it up. Okay, that's just what happens. You must accept this as a Mariners fan." But they won the division for the first time in 24 years. They got the 2 seed, and they made it to the championship series. They weren't one and done, which is great. And then they jumped out to a big thing. You're playing with house money, Mariners fans. You're playing with house money. Okay? This is a better season than the Mariners have had in 2 decades. Okay? They jumped out to that early 2-0 lead, and they got beat to snot last night, and tonight's not going much better, right? It's 8-2. I don't know why they can't hit a ball today, but they can't hit balls. Maybe they got to go back to Toronto to win. Who the hell knows? I don't know, right? I'd like to see them win at least one at home, right, for the fans, right? Maybe you'll win tomorrow, maybe. But again, I'm a Mariners fan my whole life. Why would I be surprised that this is happening? Okay? Why?
Biscuits and gravy.
Yep. Okay. It's not gonna happen. It's fine. You get another banner up in the rafters next year. You're gonna get to celebrate. You won the division. You got rid of the stupid Houston Astros, and nobody likes the Astros. Nobody. Okay? Like I said, I'm so not worried about it. Like, it's so below what or anything I care about. That's just, I'm like, if they win, great. But if they don't, I'm not upset about it. Because, again, they've done better than they have in 2 decades. And I got to go to the ballpark a couple times this year and have some fun.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? I got this cool new cup when you and I went there. See? Look, I got my cool Trident cup. Right? I don't know where your Trident cup is. You were pointing at Octo Kitty. Octo Kitty didn't go to the game.
Yeah. My Trident cup's like through that door, down the stairs, and then into the kitchen.
Yeah. So.
So
for our lovely pre-intro stuff, you finally watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh my God. Yes. And I love it. And I do apologize for not watching it sooner. I watched the trailer. I was talking to somebody about this at work. I did not know what the movie truly was about. I thought it was just about a K-pop group that killed demons.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so much more than that. It's so much more. And it is great. It is really, really great. If you haven't seen it yet, I do highly recommend it. I think it's part of the reason why everyone's canceling Netflix. So, just watch it and make people mad.
There you go. It's very, very popular. They've already done this. You got the Portland Naked Bike Ride. So honestly, I was thinking about organizing a trip to Portland. I kind of want to go buy a frog suit.
Yeah.
And drive to Portland.
You don't even have to buy one. So there's a group there that will give you a frog suit to go stand in front of the ice facility. Yeah, I don't know what group it is, but I did see this on the televisions. Yeah, they have a bunch of different suits. You walk up, you pick your own suit.
I can't go this weekend because we're doing the family thing for my daughter's birthday, but man, if that weren't tempting. I really kind of want to do it. Like, see, somebody in the chat's got an inflatable unicorn. See, this is what I'm talking about. I kind of want to organize a trip to Portland, and I kind of want to go down there and stand there in a big inflatable suit and do a dance like this.
It is an epic way to protest. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give got to give Portland credit, okay? Give Portland credit. It is a very Portland thing to do. You know, it is there. Speaking of protests, she wrote the notes about the No Kings protests. I have mixed feelings about this.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, we shouldn't have to have a No Kings protest. I get it. Yeah.
Not just that. Yeah.
You gotta spill the beans here, man. You can't just say
I am very suspicious of who's organizing it. It seems very boomer lib to me, and it makes me nervous. You know what I mean? It makes me really, really nervous. That they're going to use it to their own ends. They're going to put agitators in there.
Oh.
Okay. And right now, if I was at a stage of organizing, I don't think this is the best way to organize right now. I think you're kind of playing into the administration's hands, right? And you're giving them something else to talk about because they don't want to talk about the shutdown. They don't want to talk about the Epstein files. They don't want to talk about something we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, which was this whole Kansas Young Republicans nonsense, right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things they don't want to talk about. So why am I going to give the administration something they do want to talk about, something they do want to say? It's Antifa Hamas. Something. No. That's why.
I mean, Portland's already on fire and has no stores and is just a shithole. So you might as well just have a protest.
Sure. Like I said, I don't want to give this administration any excuse.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And I don't trust anybody. So, but happier topic, you got a new tattoo.
Yeah, I got a new tattoo. And I realized a thing because immediately after this tattoo, I went and got a Seattle dog because in Seattle, have to. And then I realized after my first tattoo, I got a Seattle dog. So I'm 2 and 2. After every tattoo, I get a Seattle dog. And that is a tradition now.
There you go. That's a good tradition to have. If you were in Seattle and get a tattoo, get yourself a Seattle dog because that's a good way to go. When will the Antifa get the hell out of Woolworths? Who knows? There are so many jokes I could make about Portland, right? I swear to God, Portland's like the sex worker capital of the Pacific Northwest. Like it's insane down there, right?
I thought that was Aurora.
No, that's something entirely different, right? But like, I'm like, why are y'all picking on Portland? Of all places, Portland, right? Somebody asked me, they were like, why aren't they saying anything about Seattle? I'm like, it's just like sports. Everybody forgets Seattle exists until something happens, right? Okay? Like, we're up here in South Alaska, and everybody forgets that we're here. Right? Everyone is horny in Portland. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, hence why we now end up with the furries protest. Okay? Like, I get it. I get it. Right? But again, proud of you, more tattoos and Seattle dogs. That's a hell of a way to live. Right there.
There you go. That's all you need.
Exactly. All right. Well, I suppose we should kick the show off now because there's, double-digit numbers of people's in here. So, coming to you live from our weird home studios, it's the Error Code Show for October 16th, your place for news, pop culture, politics, gaming, whatever the else we want to talk about. As always, I am Alex, and I am joined by Jay and OctoKitty.
Hello.
If you want to support the show, if you have Amazon Prime, you do get one free sub on Twitch. So you can give us Amazon's money. It's a free way to support the news and reactions. Liking, sharing, and hitting those follow buttons. Also, big, big help to the team. Comment, like, subscribe, and share those videos on our YouTube channel. We're on our way to 5,000 subs. Go over to us and follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all the places at Error Code Show. With that out of the way, let's jump into our first segment tonight. And this was video game news that seriously seriously pissed me off. Okay? And in video game news that pisses me off, I love the Assassin's Creed franchise. I've always loved the Assassin's Creed franchise, right? And so news dropped last week, right? And they go through some interesting historical areas. Okay? July of last year, word came out that they were going to, there was some big project they were working on, something huge, right? And that it had been canceled. Like, what? What did we canceled? It's now come out that the new game would have been a history-spanning series to one of its most modern settings, the American Civil War, specifically the Reconstruction period at the end of the Civil War. And in this one, you would have played a formerly enslaved person from the South who is hunting down the insurgent Ku Klux Klan. Okay? Tell me that does not sound awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot to take in right now. So why was it canceled?
They were worried because all the racist little incels got upset about Yasuke in AC Shadows and having a black samurai, which was something that happened, right? And they were worried about the quote-unquote political climate in the United States becoming increasingly tense. I'm telling you right now, somebody pointed this out right now. Now would be the perfect time for them to release a new Wolfenstein game so we can kill some Nazis. An Assassin's Creed game where I get to cut the throats of KKK members? Like, tell me where we went wrong. YouTube chat, I would play the hell out of Clan Theft Auto.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me you wouldn't play that game.
Yeah, I would play that game.
Like, I can think of nothing better. Right? So here's my hope, right? Here's my hope. And Ubisoft. Look at me. Ubisoft. Okay? Uncancel it. You obviously started it. You obviously made some progress on it. Let's uncancel it. Because I'm telling you right now, we would have a really great time killing clan members with dual hidden blades. I'm just saying. Just saying. Did you play many of the Assassin's Creed games, Jay, or is this a franchise that you like or dislike?
I played a few. I don't think I ever actually completed a single game. I played a few. Yeah. I like them. They're entertaining. They are good. But for whatever reason, they just don't hold my attention that long. But maybe this one would have. I don't know. Maybe we'll never know.
Uncancel the game, Ubisoft. I want to kill clan guys. Okay? Superman fought the clan. All kinds of people fought the clan. Right? Did you guys know that Superman was used to out-secret clan codes?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Did you not know this?
I don't know this.
Okay. All right.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so Superman, okay? Superman, during a 1940s radio serial, Superman battled the Ku Klux Klan in a storyline called Clan of the Fiery Claws. But what was done is they actually used the broadcast. They got a hold of Klan inner workings, code words, and rituals, and used real code words and rituals and stuff that the Klan used that were all secret, and put them on the radio as part of the dramatization of Superman killing the Klan.
What year is this?
This was in the 1940s.
Dang.
1946.
That's pretty. It's pretty badass.
That's a pretty interesting way to use radio. Like, Superman, sponsored by Ovaltine. Today, Superman fights the Klan. And then they used real shit and outed the Klan in the middle of a thing of a Superman dramatization radiocast.
Okay, so Superman did it. Who else have done it?
I don't know. You know what? That's what we need. We need more stuff like this, right? And you know what? So here's the part that I find super fucking ironic, right? We look back on this and we're like, yeah, cool. Superman fought the Klan, right? Here's the interesting thing to me. If that happened today, you'd have right-wing pundits everywhere being like, Superman gone woke.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yep. Yep. This is why we can't have nice things right here.
Okay? Like this one right here. So this is a classic. I'm going to bring this up in the thing. This is a classic Superman poster. Okay? From what year was this? 1949. Right? This is 1949. And remember, boys and girls, your school, like our country, is made of Americans of many different races, religions, and national origins. So if you hear somebody saying something against a schoolmate or anyone else because of his religion, race, or national origin, don't wait. Tell them that kind of talk is un-American. This right here would be lambasted if it came out today. Right? How can you have this in 1949? And everyone's like, yeah, okay, yeah, this makes sense. But I'm telling you, tell me if you disagree with me. Don't you think this would be fucking shish kebabbed by the right if it came out today?
100%. 100%. Weren't people actually mad about the new Superman movie, saying that it was woke somehow? I forgot why.
That's the thing, is that controversy died pretty fast.
Okay.
Because it's not like, it just, they would have had to have something more concrete to point to. They tried that narrative, but it just didn't stick because it didn't. Somebody in the thing's bringing up the Frank Sinatra. I'll try and bring that up. Let's see if I can bring it. Somebody brought, here you go. This is one that Sinatra did. Trying to find it. Here we go.
Here's wounded so bad he had to get it 3 times.
Son, anybody in your family ever go to the blood bank?
Sure, I love
To those Nazi werewolves I've been reading about.
our school. I've been living here as long as you.
What's he got, smallpox or something?
We don't like his religion.
His religion?
Look, mister, he's a dirt...
Now, hold on. I see what you mean. You must be a bunch of those Nazi werewolves I've been reading about.
Mister, are you screwy?
Not me, I'm an American.
Well, what do you think we are?
Nazis?
Don't call me a Nazi. My father's a sergeant in the army. He been wounded even.
Wounded, huh? Say, I bet he got some of that blood plasma.
Here's wounded so bad he had to get it 3 times.
Son, anybody in your family ever go to the blood bank?
Sure, my mother and my father both.
Uh-huh. You know what? I bet you maybe his pop's blood helped save your dad's life. That's bad.
What's bad about it?
Well, don't you see? Your father doesn't go to the same church as his father does. That's awful. Do you think maybe if your father knew about it in time, he would rather have died than to take blood from a man of another religion? Would you have wanted him to die? Would your mom want him to die?
No.
Look, fellas, religion makes no difference. Except maybe to a Nazi or somebody as stupid. Why, people all over the world...
It was just like, it only matters to Nazis. Don't be Nazis.
God created everybody. He didn't create one people better than another. Your blood's the same as mine. Mine's the same as his. Do you know what this wonderful country is made of? It's made up of 100 different kind of people, and 100 different ways of talking, and 100 different ways of going to church. But they're all American ways. Wouldn't we be silly if we went around hating people because they comb their hair different than ours? Wouldn't we be a lot of dopes? My dad came from Italy. but I'm an American. But should I hate your father because he came from Ireland or France or Russia? Wouldn't I be a first-class fathead? Think about that, fellas. Use your good American heads.
Again, if that was done today, now Sinatra was known because when he was coming up with the Rat Pack and stuff like that, there was a bunch of places they used to hang out that Sammy Davis Jr. initially couldn't go, right? Because he was black. Yeah. And Frank would go in there and be like, "Oh, you want me to hang out in your place? Because I'm Frank Sinatra?" But my buddy said, "No, he can't." Fuck you, right? You know, like Sinatra was known for being pretty frustrated with the level of racism in this country during the 40s and 50s. But yeah, I like it. Was like he like calls the little children Nazis. You must be some of those Nazi weirdos I heard about. And I'm like, you're calling the children Nazis, and that makes me laugh. Thanks, Frank.
Oh God.
Serious, like, but tell me, would that not get? What kind of woke nonsense is Frank Sinatra doing now?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what would happen today. The sad thing is you know what we really need? We need PSAs like the Superman poster, and we need a Frank Sinatra who could come out there and be like, that's dumb.
That's dumb, kids.
Yeah. I don't know where we're going to get that, but that's why we need it. And we need these PSAs, like right now. And actually, in our next segment, Jay's going to explain why.
Yes. Great. Are we ready for that? Are we doing that?
Let's rock and roll. It kind of rolls right into it, right? We're talking about anti-racist stuff that was coming out in the 40s and 50s. Keep in mind, the stuff we were just showing you is from the 1940s and 50s. All this anti-racist stuff. Why did we need it then, and why do we need it now? Jay, take us away.
Yes. So we are talking about a recent expose of the Young Americans. Oh my God. The Young Republicans group chat, where thousands of pages of very disturbing content and fallout that's spreading very, very fast. And let's break this down. So what exactly did come out? So Politico published a leak of over 2,900 pages of Telegram chat logs from members in the Young Republicans group. This is like really confusing to me because the name is a little misleading here. You have to be above the age of 18 to join, and everyone's between the ages of 18 and 40, which it's not really what my mind goes to.
That is pretty young for a Republican, though.
Oh, rip, burn. Dang. So anyways, yeah, chat messages from January to mid-August of this year were released. And these are not just harmless jokes. There are chats that contain very racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic slurs, violent messages, praises for Hitler, jokes about rape, probably should not have said that word, references to gas chambers, and etc. Some individuals involved are already in public office or hold public roles in the state Young Republican chapters. One of these people is the Vermont State Senator Samuel Douglas. He was a participant in the chat and is now facing calls to resign. Woo!
Okay, so I want to clear a couple things up on this story. Okay? Because I've seen I've seen a lot of spin about this, right? Now, some people, like the Speaker of the House, and to his credit, Mike Johnson was like, no, this is not good. Not good, right? And these people should be fucking done, okay? Now, other people were like, well, they're just so kids. They're not. They're not. They tried to spin it like these were high school kids or like younger college. No. All of these people were in their mid-20s or later. Okay? All of them have been involved in politics for some time. Okay. All of them have been there. Okay. So, and I'm trying to find another picture. Okay. Now, if you think that this is limited to some young Republicans, let's talk about what happened in a U.S. congressman's office this weekend. I'm trying to find it. There it is. Okay. Trying to find a picture. And there it is. So, a congressman's staffer was on a Zoom call from the congressman's office, right? Okay. With various people. And then all of a sudden, somebody noticed something in the background. By the way, that was in an office of a U.S. congressman.
No.
Okay? A U.S. congressman. Now, to the congressman's credit, the staffer was the one on the video. To the congressman's credit, the minute this happened, he called the Capitol Police. The Capitol Police are investigating. Now they're saying a bunch of these were delivered, and it's an optical illusion, and they didn't notice. I don't know how you don't notice that, but let's put it this way. So if you think that this problem that Jay has run up to you is just a problem with the young Republicans, you need to think again. I'm sorry. This is just, it's not a coincidence. Okay. Now, do I think that all Republicans are Nazis? No. But do I think some of them are Nazis? Probably. Okay. Okay. I don't know. And again, we'll let the Capitol Police do their investigation about the swastika in the congressman's office, and we'll see what the Capitol Police say. Okay. So we'll give that a couple of days. I have a hard time believing that these people are that stupid. Okay. You got into Congress. You work for a congressman. So either A, you're not that stupid and you knew what it was, or B, you are stupid and you shouldn't be working in Congress. Okay? Anybody who does stuff with stuff in the background carefully curates all the things in their background. Anybody with half a brain.
It's true. It's very true.
Okay? In fairness, the quality of our politicians has dropped. Yeah. I encourage you to read the political article, the text messages they sent. Like, Jay ran through a good rundown, but they're pretty bad. They're pretty fucking bad. Okay. Here's the part that I actually find the most flabbergasting. And this is why I also don't buy some of the spin where they're like, oh, they're just kids. They're just kids. I don't know anyone under the age of, quite frankly, 40 who does not presume at all times that anything you put down in a text message or a group chat ain't private.
Yeah, there's even one, there's a message that's like, if this chat ever leaks, we are cooked for real.
They knew.
But
they knew.
Yeah.
They knew they were saying heinous shit. They knew they were saying things that were fucked up. And they didn't care.
No.
Okay.
Here's the thing that I do not get. Why? Okay, so either A, people are just coming out of the woodwork, or B, it seems like we have like a recent like uptick in Nazi groups. I do not understand this.
Okay, let's. I don't think it's an uptick in Nazi groups. I think that it's, I'm going to bring this up just for a palate cleanser because we were just talking about it. We love Superman. Okay. I think that people are much more open, for lack of a better term, right? I knew people when I was young who would say fucked up racist shit. I knew people who would say fucked up sexist shit and mean it. And fucking mean it. Okay? But they have they had the good common sense back in the 90s to keep that shit to themselves. Right? To be ashamed of it. Right? To rightfully feel, this may be how I believe, but I know it's fucked up and I know it's not accepted. Yeah. What's become more common is an openness to just be okay with it. Right? To just be okay with it. Okay? And again, before the start of this segment, we're talking about anti-racist stuff from the 1940s and 50s. Frank Sinatra, Superman, what you're seeing on the screen right now. This is why we need this shit back. But again, you couldn't do this now. Okay? I want to address one of the things that's being said in the chat. Okay? And I say this with all love to our people in the chat. Part of the problem is the Democrats didn't leave a place for young white men to feel welcome. The Republicans said, come on in. That is a oversimplification to the point of it's an oversimplification that removes the people who are involved here's agency, right? And again, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. I saw a point in my life where I could have gone that direction. Okay. No. Here's the thing. The Democrats didn't say young white men weren't welcome. What they said is, right now, for just this moment, right, we're not focused on your problems. Okay? There's lots of problems out there. We can only do a couple things at a time. Right? Okay. And right now, you're not the primary focus. Right? And they took that the wrong way. Okay? And this is the one, there's a great meme of this that I absolutely fucking love. And I can find like half the meme. Okay. Saying their messaging turned people off, I agree with. The messaging was crap. Okay. And the Democrats still have a problem with that. Their messaging is shit. Okay. So the Republicans did this. There's a lot of reasons for this. If you really want a good primer on this, I would highly recommend going to a guy. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and he's got a great series, right? On the
I've seen plenty of power
on the alt-right pipeline, right? It's Innuendo Studios on YouTube. He does a lot of work with digital radicalism and stuff like that. I highly recommend checking out his channel. It will break a lot of this down in really good ways for you. Everybody knows what's fucked up and what's not. Okay? You just do. But you think it's funny. And it's edgy and it's cool. And I'm actually going to read this comment, and this goes back to the messaging from YouTube chat. It's not that there wasn't a place for young white, mostly men. The Democrats did a terrible job of framing issues as being to a vital interest of all working class voters, with some racial and ethnic aspects. That's it. That's a great summary of what we're talking about here. Jay, you've been quiet.
But yeah, I agree. Nazis are bad. No, I was not texting my friends. No, I actually just posted in chat. I was like, remember to take your vitamin D supplements. I can already like feel myself like being pretty dead lately. But back to the topic. I think it is very complicated. I think this is a very complicated mess.
And actually, we're about to get into a topic where the right and left agree. Believe it or not.
Wait, is that the Mariners?
No, it's the
We already
Pentagon.
talked about the Mariners. Oh. Yeah, that one was that is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. To ask why, I think it's super complicated. You would have to like break it down, I think, by region, by how old everyone's parents were. Because I can totally 100% see, depending on what era your parents were in, maybe they got really tired of politics and then didn't want to talk politics at all in the household at all, and thinking that was best for their children, and then their children just got sucked into one side or the other. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just a person with a microphone right now.
That's why we have to talk, because we do have the microphone and we do have a platform and people do listen to this show, right? I'd be curious to that metric, like how many individual people have ever watched this show on YouTube and whatnot. Yeah. Heg says she's yeah, Heg says, well, we're going to get into that in a minute. In fact, let's do that now. Jay, do you want to talk about, because this is actually an area where the right and left agree. Let's talk about the Pentagon.
Okay. Yeah. During a scheduled Pentagon press briefing earlier this week, journalists were presented with a new, quote, coverage agreement. Essentially, this is a document outlining what information they could and could not publish. The Pentagon claimed that this was a move to clarity and consistency. However, reporters saw this completely different. They said this is a direct threat to editorial independence, which it is. So instead of agreeing, they all packed up all of their stuff, stood up, and walked out. And this is pretty insane because, like Alex said, both sides agreed. Even Fox News walked out.
Newsmax walked out.
Newsmax walked out. Everyone walked out.
Newsmax, which spends a good portion of its coverage, more so than Fox News, filleting the administration, went, yeah, too far. Too far.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, this is super important because this is supposed to be a window into like what the public has into what's happening with our military, our tax dollars, our national defense.
A $1 trillion budget. I will say that again. A $1 trillion budget. The public has the right to know where that money's being spent.
Yeah. And to put that in perspective, that is way more than what Darth Vader's lightsaber sold for. So that's a lot. And yeah, when these windows start closing, or worse, they're being filtered, we risk stepping into dangerous territory. We cannot have a democracy without a free and independent press, period. Our founding fathers knew that. And this isn't just about like journalists losing the right for access. This is about you and me losing our right to know. If the government decides what is safe to publish, where does that end? This is some 1984 shit right here.
Yeah. I again, I was mildly surprised, but very proud. Because, again, the only agency that signed the agreement was One American News. And, like, they make Newsmax look lefty. Okay? Newsmax walked out. Fox News walked out. Everybody. The Journal. Everybody. They were like, no, we're not doing this. Somebody in the chat said somebody should hand Hank Seth a copy of the Bill of Rights. He's read it. He didn't care. This administration doesn't give a shit about the Bill of Rights. What are you talking about? They do not give a crap. Now, here's the thing. Okay. At this stage, right? I am proud of the news agencies. With one asterisk. You gave Hegseth exactly what he wanted. He doesn't want you in the building. They want to operate in the shadows. They want to operate in darkness, right? So now not only did you sign the thing, right? But now you're not in the building anymore. And that's precisely what he wants. He doesn't want you in the building. So, again, do I think they did the right thing? Yes. But it's a double-edged sword, as is everything with this administration. And the only reason I think they haven't gone further into a full-blown, like, authoritarian, hullabaloo is that they're incompetent. Because somebody competent would have already achieved it by now. Okay? They keep doing stupid things. Right? Leaks will get even bigger now. Maybe. He's purging anybody but loyalists. That's what they're doing right now. You heard him when he gave his speech. He didn't want anybody in there that's not loyal to the administration. Okay? They made that veiled threat 3 weeks ago. So take that for what it's worth. Do you think, so Jay, I'll pose this question to you, since your story. Do you think that the administration backs down at any point now that it's just OAN, like parroting Pentagon talking points? Like, at any point do they go, does Hegseth go, okay, fine, you can come back?
I have this really weird feeling. So I'd like your input on this. I wonder, because the White House is talking about coming out with their own, I don't know, pharmacy website or some dumb thing. I wonder if this is going to be their way to release their own, like, news, whatever, news dumpster fire of a platform.
I have no idea. Honestly. I honestly don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, legit, I don't know what they're thinking. I just... I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of is like, oh, well, now we don't have any platforms covering our stuff. So guess what? We're coming out with Trump News, where you can find news all day, every day about important topics.
Oh, you're talking about just straight up state-owned media.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but I think it will. The funny thing is what's more, again, I'm trying to see the end game here. This is what I don't get, right? Trump's old. He's going to die eventually. Okay? Also, these guys want power too, right? J.D. Vance wants to be president someday. He's not going to let Eric or Don Jr. swoop in and take the fucking seat from him. Okay. My question is how do you move on? Even within the Republican Party. Trump is a once-in-a-generation political talent, much like Obama was, right? He is. We can hate everything about him, but if you're going to fight your enemy, you have to give them the fucking... The guy is a political talent. He knows how to speak to people who don't fucking vote, except for him. Okay? He activated an entire swath of the country that normally just doesn't even bother voting. Right? Okay? So, I don't know what happens to the MAGA movement when Trump dies. Right? Like, what happens?
Well, so
I don't see a person in the wings ready to take it over.
Well, so there is the rule of two. So the apprentice becomes the master.
They're fucking Sith Lords.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I don't know. What I mean, who if Trump were to keel over tomorrow, I don't think it's JD Vance. I really don't. He just doesn't have the charisma. Right?
No.
Stephanopoulos dumped him off an interview on Sunday because they're so sick of him. Right? Stephanopoulos literally, he was in the middle of the interview with JD Vance. He's like, that's fine. We're good. Going to break. And he literally was just like, I dump out of the interview. Like, I'm done with this guy. Right? Okay. Best case scenario is what Twitch chat saying it will splinter to fragments vying for control. I hope that happens because if it splinters into enough, then the Democrats can stay consolidated enough to get some shit done and hopefully stop this shit from happening again. I don't have faith in that, but that's a problem for another day. I don't know. I just don't know. Don't give these guys Sith status. They're not that cool.
Oh, man.
All right. Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Our topics are very choppy tonight.
Very choppy.
All right. So, some rumors had started to come out in July of this year, that Xbox was going to cancel their next console. It was gone. They're done, right? So rumors were swirling out there and stuff like that, and then they were going in with, like leaning in on Gamecast and cloud gaming and subscription model, da-da-da-da-da. And so, recently, it had to come from Microsoft denying it directly, saying we are actively investing in our future first-party consoles and devices designed, engineered, and built by Xbox. For more details, the community can revisit our agreement announcement with AMD. So, they're saying, yeah, we're going to do another console. Okay? Cool. Xbox, I think, has lost this console war as well. Like PS5's at 74 million units, Xbox at 32 million, right? Like they're well behind PlayStation in the console world. I don't even know. Do we have Switch 2 numbers yet? Switch 2 has sold 7 million units in the same time frame that the PS5 sold 4.37. Right? So, seeing that, yeah, they're just over 7 million units. So they're doing fine. But this kind of brought me to my next thing. We've talked about this on the show for a long time, that Microsoft's not really concerned about hardware, about their consoles. It's a way to get you into their ecosystem and keep you there, right? Much like the iPhone, okay? But we knew that they weren't really focusing on it. They didn't really care, per se, how many consoles they sold. But that brought me to the more important question. And this is one Jay and I were chatting a little bit about in the pre-show, which is, do we really care about consoles anymore?
I don't get it. Like now anyone can build a computer, or you could go to Costco and get a really good computer. I mean, yes, slightly more than a console, 100% agree.
But upgradable,
Yeah.
lasts longer in my opinion.
Also, your Steam cloud, you take that with you.
Yep. You're getting maybe one extra generation out of your games. Most PS4 games play on the PS5, but that's about it. Nothing else, right? This is one I brought up. So, GeForce RTX 5060, 60 gigs of DDR5, 1 terabyte SSD, $999. That's a very good deal, right? That's a pretty solid deal. You know,
Yeah.
especially since the 5060. I want to make sure I'm getting the right. Yep. Hell, the graphics card alone is $300.
Yeah.
Right. But the nice thing about buying a gaming PC is you can upgrade the hardware. Right. Like you can yank a graphics card out and stick a new one in. You can put in more RAM. You can do shit to your computer that you cannot do to a console. You know. So do you think, I mean, PlayStation still has pretty strong sales worldwide. Do you think that, how many more generations do you think we got out of this before we see the idea of a console radically shift?
I don't know. I feel like we're pretty close. Like, are there any like numbers on like, let's see here, numbers of consoles versus computer? So PC, there's around 908 million PC gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Console, there's around 630 million console gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see that grow and grow. Especially now that everyone's like a Twitch streamer, and you just have so much more capability if you have a PC. I would say, I don't know. I would say maybe in like the next 10 years, we're going to see a radical shift in consoles, because like you said, like Xbox, they don't make money on the Xbox. They lose money on the Xbox. They make money once they have you in their ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, something has to change.
So
We need Superman fighting Nazis.
we do. I'm going back to Superman fighting Nazis. Somebody asked a question in the chat that's related to this that says, what does Xbox look like without a console? Go to your Windows machine and go to the Microsoft Store and type in Xbox the app. That's what it is. There's an Xbox app on Windows where you can basically just play Xbox on Windows, right? All the console exclusive Xbox games are on PC at the same time, right? They just are. So there's an Xbox app for your computer. I keep a wired Xbox controller at my computer for the games that are more optimized for controller as opposed to keyboard and mouse, right? I don't use my setup as the be all end all, because I'm running like two pieces. I look like I'm running a security operations center in my office. But yeah, that's what it looks like. We already know what that looks like. PlayStation's the same thing, right? The issue for it's not like, Microsoft is cutting people off from being able to download Steam on their thing on Windows, so they don't give a crap. So Sony could just put an app in the Microsoft Store and be like, cool, here's your PlayStation app. You know what? Now you're making me go look. Is there a PlayStation app? You know, because now I have to look. Nope, there's not. Okay. I was just checking. Whew. But yeah, what I mean, all right, so here's another question on this same kind of topic. What would bring you back to using consoles?
So the only thing I miss about consoles, literally the only thing, I miss playing Legend of Zelda games. That's
Okay.
it. That's it. That's literally it. I miss it. And okay, I'll add to this. Also, I miss classic split screen games where you can sit on the couch and you can play with your friends and you can cheat by looking at their part of the screen and figure out where they are. I miss that. I think that's I think that's it. I think that's the only two things. Like if I could sit on the couch and play with my wife, split screen. Yeah. That's like the only those are the only two things
That's
miss.
what would do it.
Yeah.
I do miss the days of GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
GoldenEye was classic.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in that era with four of us crowding around a little TV playing GoldenEye with your little section of your split screen being this freaking big, you know.
Yeah.
So somebody brought this up. A shift back to physical media would do it for me. So here's my issue. I agree with you, but okay. And I think we've talked about this on the show before. Where is it at? I have floating behind me somewhere. Yeah. It's sitting over there. I have in my office here somewhere a Sega Genesis. Right? And multiple Sega Genesis games. And this said Sega Genesis does in fact work. Okay? The Sega Genesis games do in fact work. Now, here's my thing. The nice thing is there is no DRM. There is no need to be connected to the internet. There's no, server error, nothing. Thing goes in thing, right? Like they're talking about now, I think the PS3 is the last one that you can actually use it, right? Like a PS1 and a PS2, they don't need firmware updates. If I buy a PS2 at an old gaming con and I plug it in, it will just play, right? As long as the physical machine is functional. I don't need to worry about internet connections or anything. That's not the case with modern gaming. It's just fucking not. Okay? If you were going to go back and basically release DRM free or no need to ever be connected to the internet again systems, I would agree with you because then you can preserve your own shit. Right? Then it's on you. Right? There are people who preserve Ataris and Nintendos and Segas and Sega CDs and PS1s and stuff like that. That's just not the case anymore. Right? It's why I've gone away, as much as it pisses me off, and we've talked about this too, of you don't own your Steam library. You are leasing it from Steam, and if you die, you can't actually give anybody your Steam games. Someone tried, and Valve told him to fuck off.
Dang.
Right? Digital rights management is what DRM stands for. So that's my thing. Somebody else mentioned the Switch 2. Look, Nintendo's getting away with it because they have so many exclusive games that are so good, right? And they are not in Nintendo's side. They are not competing with Xbox and PlayStation. They're not in the same business. Their console's a very different thing than the standard one. Somehow Valve is the least shitty when it comes to digital libraries. Yeah. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments below. Should they even bother releasing another Xbox? Do you want them to? Do you own one now? Let us know. I have all of them. At one point, there was like 3 Switches in my house. I have a Series X. I have a PS5. I have 2 gaming PCs. My wife has a gaming PC. My daughter has a gaming PC.
Wow.
So, yes, you could take over someone's account and email and have their password just change the payment message. Yes, that is theoretically possible, but kind of a pain in the ass. Switch, Xbox, PC. Yeah. You're pretty much just exclusively PC these days, aren't you, Jay?
100% PC.
Okay. Chat question from earlier. Jay, which next TV or streaming series that has your attention held as it approaches release?
Ooh. Ooh. That's a great question. Nothing is coming to my mind right now. I don't even think there's anything coming out in theaters of like 2025 that I'm super excited about. I was super excited about Tron. Guess what? That didn't happen. Yeah, there's not. Let's see here. Da-da-da-da.
I got mine.
Oh, okay. So there is a movie. I forgot about this.
Well, this one, we were talking about TV or streaming first. Any TV or streaming? Nothing?
TV and streaming?
Yeah.
When is Shrinking 2 coming
So
out?
that was the one. There it is. Thank you, Jay. Shrinking season 3. It is the final season. Michael J. Fox is coming into this one. Okay.
Yeah.
I am just waiting for this final season of Shrinking. Sometime later this year or early 2026.
Yep.
I am mildly excited for the Night of the 70 Kingdoms show, the one about Dunk and Egg. I love the novellas that he did with those. That looks like it could be a lot of fun. But Shrinking season 3. Excuse me. That's the one that I'm just like, give me my Shrinking season 3. Come on, Apple.
Yep. Yeah, that's the only TV show I'm like waiting for. And then movies, The Predator Badlands. That is coming out.
Yeah.
When is that coming out? November 7th.
Yeah. Ahsoka season 2, I'm hopeful for. God. I don't think there's any other movies for the rest of the year because I don't really care about Avatar. There's stuff I'm going to see, but I don't really. Yeah. Yeah, Jay was so disappointed when Tron Ares was kind of a bust. Oh, I looked that up for the thing. Thank you for bringing that up. I guess we're going to go a little freeform today.
Woo.
Ooh, wow. Tron Ares, 68 million worldwide so far. That is not good. That's really bad. That's super bad. Oh boy. Oh yeah, the new Peaky Blinders. They're doing a new Peaky Blinders. That does look like it'll be fun.
Yep.
Yeah. The Tron Ares did not do well. Tron Ares is worth watching just for the special effects and the soundtrack for me. Look, and yeah, I had this conversation with somebody, and look, if you really like Tron Ares, I am happy for you. Okay? There were a lot of good elements that I was like, oh, do something with that. Oh, no, you didn't. But yeah, the soundtrack was killer, right? The effects, and Jay and I said this in our review last week. The effects it was beautifully shot. right?
Yes.
It looks so pretty. And again,
Yep.
the music was great.
Yep.
I feel really bad for them because, yeah, they have not. Ugh. It is
Yeah.
not good for Tron Ares so far.
No.
I think they're going to be lucky to hit 150 million. So, yeah, again, it's again, Jay and I didn't think it was a terrible movie. We said this in our review last week. Watch the live stream. We didn't say it was bad. We just were like, it wasn't. I think both of us walked in hoping it was going to be great, like Tron Legacy, and we walked out going, it was only okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got multiple people. We have multiple people in the chat who liked Tron Ares. Too bad Jared Leto was in it. I hate his face. I didn't think he did a terrible job in the movie. You know.
Yeah. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Look, I have one primary gripe about the film. Where the fuck was Tron? Okay. Where was Tron? It's a Tron movie. Tron should be in the movie. But he's not in the movie. Bruce Boxleitner ain't dead. No Tron in the Tron movie. His name is Tron. He fights for the users. Why is he not in the movie? I'll take Jay Leno over Jared Leto. Tron Ares was Jared Leto's revenge for Morbius. Oh, wow. Thank you, chat. I love that. Thank you very much for that. That was great. Yeah, it did not do well. A couple weeks ago, we covered the fact that Paramount was making a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. They did make a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, and Warner Brothers Discovery said, no, thanks.
Oh.
I was cautiously kind of like meh on the Paramount Skydance Warner Brothers thing. I am now actively against it. Paramount done pissed me off a little bit.
Well, that's a topic.
Didn't we talk about it last week?
Did we?
I thought so. Chat, remind me. I thought we talked about the Free Press acquisition last week.
Oh, yeah, we did. We did.
Did we?
Yeah,
or was
we
that
did.
just you and me talking?
I think we talked about it with the people in our head. Yeah.
Do we discuss it amongst ourselves and with OctoKitty, or do we chat? You're gonna have to help me out.
I think we talked about it.
But yes, Paramount did make a bid of roughly $20 a share for Warner Brothers Discovery, and they were like, no. I am still. So I noticed something, right? Because who is Apple using for their production partner, right? With that F1 movie, it was Apple. Or it was Warner Brothers. With Shrinking, it's Warner Brothers. With Ted Lasso, guess who?
Apple.
But who are they working with?
Oh, Paramount.
Warner Brothers.
What?
Yeah. So,
Dang.
I would really love to see Apple, who we know has been wanting to do this for a while. I really think Apple should make a bid, and we know Apple can afford more than Paramount can. Right? Apple will roll in there and be like, all right, fuck it, $70 billion. Hang on, we got this in our couch cushion. Here you go. Right? Because how much free cash flow? Apple currently has, just over $55 billion just in cash. Just cash. Right? That's not financing, it's not stock, it's not nothing. Just cash. Somebody in the YouTube chat. I want to see Nora O'Donnell and Barry Weiss go at it like Iron Man versus Captain America for the soul of CBS News. For those that missed it, right? Barry Weiss, who was the founder of the Free Press, was hired by Paramount Skydance Well, first they bought her company for a vastly overinflated amount. Vastly overinflated amount. Put it this way. We have a little rinky dink YouTube channel. If Barry Weiss's company is worth $150 million, Jay and I's YouTube channel is worth $1 million. And I will happily sell it to CBS News for $1 million.
Nice.
Right?
We've made it.
Anyway, they bought the Free Press, and then he installed Barry Weiss as the editor-in-chief of CBS News, which actually, there is a piece... So she pulled an Elon, right? She sends out an email to all of the CBS News staffers, right? You remember how Elon was doing that shit with Doge where he was like, what did you do last week? What is your greatest accomplishment? ... Right? So she sent out a similar email, right? I'm eager to understand how you spend your working hours and ideally what you've made or making and you are most proud of. The Writers Guild of America, right, which a lot of these TV news writers are covered by, immediately came out to their members and were like, don't answer that. What? Do not answer that email. So the WGA, this is what they said. We are aware that Barry Weiss sent out an email asking CBS employees to provide information about their jobs and feedback about CBS News. Many have expressed concern to us about the purpose of this email, and we share those concerns. The Writers Guild of America continues, this is why we sent the company an immediate demand to provide information about the email by Monday. We suggest you refrain from responding until we're able to share that information so you can make an informed decision by next Tuesday's deadline. Yeah, I just thought it was hilarious, right? That she was like, what did you do today, CBS reporters? Right? And their guild was like, yeah, no, screw off. Yeah. And you're right. We don't need any more crazy megacorps taking over stuff. But yeah, if Warner Brothers is going to sell out, I'd rather it be to somebody like Apple. Apple can afford them, right? What's Apple's market cap today? Apple's market cap today is $3.67 trillion. What did you learn in school today? I don't go to school. Did you go to school today, Jay?
No, I skipped. I snuck into Seattle and I ate Seattle dogs and played classic pinball machine games.
Okay.
Yep.
Chat, do you guys have any more topics you'd like us to discuss?
Let's go.
Anything else you got, Jay? Yeah. Screw Paramount. I said, I'm glad Warner Brothers told him to get bent. Which really what they're doing is they're fishing for a bigger offer. And what they did, this was, and John Campea said this, and I agree with him. You know who leaked the terms of the deal, right?
Them.
It was Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, Paramount just offered us 20 a share.
I think
Apple?
I think a very similar thing happened with Ford versus Ferrari when Ford tried to buy Ferrari and Ferrari did not want to sell to Ford. They wanted Fiat to buy them. Car history, anyone?
Yeah, didn't Fiat end up buying Ferrari?
They did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So, Cryptid, you would plan a road trip or vacation to go track down Mothman. I should say Sasquatch, but I want to say Mothman.
Yeah, let me.
Now, that being said, I'm answering it in the spirit of answering chat. But as an avid follower of Latinos Against Spooky shit, I am not going into the woods to find shit. I live in a city for a reason. Okay? I leave the cryptids alone. They can stay in their house.
Oh my god.
Would you count DB Cooper? Somebody in the YouTube chat said DB Cooper. I don't know if that's a cryptid or not. That's one of those great mysteries that I always wanted to know the truth about. Like, DB Cooper is like, what happened to that guy? It's probably the simple explanation is that he didn't survive the jump and getting out of the woods. But I always wanted to know. All right. Oh, Loch Ness, that would be fun. And you could get eaten by a dinosaur. There's worse ways to go.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, I don't know.
See somebody else in the chats with me on Mothman. Thank you, chat.
Is the Kraken considered a cryptic?
A cryptid? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think we
I'll go
found
with the
a giant
Kraken.
squid in real life. You just want to go find another one?
Yes, but like I want Sea of Thieves though, like where the Kraken starts attacking your ship.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Jay's gonna go out and hunt for the Kraken, right?
There we go.
I'm off after the Mothmans. Somebody in chat's going to find DB Cooper, right? Find the Savage Lance. Yeah. I mean, that's the fun part, everybody. We'll give you guys about 5-10 more minutes and see if there's anything else. I am pulling some stuff down now. Yay. I do want to say thank you to the chat. You guys have been great viewers the last couple of weeks. Jay and I have been kind of last minute on topics the last couple of weeks just because life has been really crazy. We still want to do the show, and you guys have been great. Oh, wait, was that last weekend? Yeah, fuck. Clown, I know what we got to talk about. The HRC dinner.
I thought we talked about that last week.
We talked about you going, but you went on Saturday.
Oh yeah. Dang. Yeah, that's a whole topic. Holy crap. Okay.
Do you want to do that now or do you want to save it?
No, let's do it now.
Okay.
So
last week you went to the HRC dinner, and I know this because my spouse went with you and your spouse, and I believe your sister-in-law person, right? And we talked about it on last week's show that you were gonna go, but now you have gone. And the HRC dinner was on National Coming Out Day. How was the dinner? Like, how was the event itself? Let's start there.
I will say this year, gonna try to, not to be too critical here, but there were some issues this year that hasn't happened in previous years. So, and I believe that you caught on to this, Alex. They downsized. They went into a smaller venue. And I believe that is due to some corporate sponsors pulling support, like local Seattle corporate sponsors pulling support. So they went into a smaller area, which made it a little hectic because when you walk in, you have like a silent auction going on. So you're supposed to walk around the items. Well, there wasn't really anywhere to stand. So everyone was standing in front of silent auction items and chatting. So it was a little chaotic. But once you got actually into like the dinner part, I'm not gonna lie, there were like 2 times where I was just trying not to cry because it was very sad. So one guest speaker was a survivor of the 2016 Orlando shooting that happened, and I believe like 49 people, including his partner, died. So he was talking about that, and very inspirational. It was a great speech. Very moving, but definitely tried not to cry. There was a lot of things about, and let me pause here. So it was on National Coming Out Day. I wore makeup and a dress to this event. And then I posted on social media, coming out officially as trans, to pretty much like everyone that I did not deem super important that I should tell before they just find out on social media. And I was expecting, so I like did it, kind of shut off my phone, And I was expecting to wake up the next day having to delete and block a lot of people from Florida. So back to the speeches, a lot of it was about trans rights and that kind of stuff. So definitely very moving, very emotional. But yeah, the food this year was okay.
Yes, I heard about the food.
So you have like three options. You have
I'm also going to partially put that on the venue.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So you have a I don't care what you give me option, then you have a vegetarian option, and then you have a gluten-free option. I got the I don't care what you give me option, which was some fish on a bed of corn. It was okay. But the person next to me got the vegetarian option and somehow had like fettuccine alfredo. And I was like, so wanted that. I was like, oh man, I should have got the vegetarian.
And they didn't tell you ahead of time, like which one was it? They were like, I don't care, vegetarian or gluten free. That's all you got to know ahead of time.
Well, it was like a meat option. Like, like, do you want meat or do you want gluten free or do you want vegetarian? And I chose the meat one.
And but they didn't tell you what each option actually meant. Yeah.
That's weird, right? That's weird. That's definitely weird.
No, it's not weird. That's just, man, come on.
Because like, what if I didn't like fish?
Yeah.
I'm just eating corn. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a great time. It was a great night. Loved it. I actually won. I thought it was funny. No one else thought it was funny. There is a local furry bar in Seattle.
Sure.
It is called, I think, Barely Furry or Hardly Furry. I have heard about it. I have not seen it. I have not gone. Sounds like a great time. They do make their own beer. I do kind of want to check it out. They had like a little gift basket for auction. No one was bidding on it, and I won it. And I kind of like, I don't know. I thought it was funny. So I won a beanie and like a scarf from, I think, Barely Furry.
My wife, unsurprisingly, won wine.
A lot of wine.
Yes, I'm aware.
She literally is sitting there and she goes, "Hey, I won some wine." And I was like, "Oh, good. Good for you." She goes, "No. Can you help me carry it back to your car?" And then I said, "Well, how much did you win?" And her response was literally, "I don't know." And I was like, oh no. I was like, oh, here we go.
She texted me during the thing to be like, can I bid on I was like, yeah, I mean, you're supporting a good cause. You go to, look, for those that have not been to like a nonprofit, like benefit gala dinner, right? They do these silent auctions, these things all the time, because what you're doing is the local businesses who are supplying the prizes, they don't make the company pay for the prizes, right? So like the wine companies are like, here, have 20 bottles of free wine and go auction it, whatever, right? They get a tax write-off. When you buy it, all the cash that you spend to auction buy it is given to the nonprofit organization, in this case, the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign. I hope you drink wine on game nights. Dude, I wish you would drink more of that wine. I've got so much. No, people do not go to the HRC in furry costume. Or are you asking about the bar? The HRC is a formal event.
Slightly Furry. That's what it's called. Slightly Furry. That is the name.
Did you catch the question about pronouns in the chat?
I did not. Where is that one?
Are you sticking with they, them, or are you going to she, her now?
Wow.
Or have we decided yet?
So much has happened in the past week. So literally that same week, I did go talk about HRT in Seattle at a place called Planned Parenthood. Not a place I would have expected to be a good place to go talk to HRT. However, it is a great place. So if you're listening to this and you are thinking about transitioning, I highly recommend Planned Parenthood. Why? Because as I was sitting there, everyone coming and going was trans. Second, they are super friendly, the nicest medical staff I have ever talked to because they're trying to put you at ease. Third, they will assign you a transition specialist that will help you with the entire process of working with surgeons and doctors and everything that you want, even if it's not something that they offer. And they work with the doctor and they work with your insurance company. So it's like a one-stop shop. So that is really great. Again, did not expect Planned Parenthood to be like the place to go, but evidently it is.
News to me.
So there you know. There you know. So I did get cleared to start HRT whenever I want. And then I did meet with a psychiatrist who stated that, yes, everything kind of checks out. I have to have like a second appointment with them, and then they will be writing a letter to my insurance company stating that I have gender dysphoria. Why does that matter? Because I want insurance to cover everything, and I don't want to pay out of pocket. So back to pronouns. Why does this all tie to pronouns? I feel like the crazy guy from Always Sunny with the different strings, and I'm just like, why does this matter? Me personally, I'm sticking with they, them. This is a little weird thing for me. I kind of feel like I have not, this is me, just me, not speaking for the trans community at all. I've been told I have a weird way of thinking about this, whatever. I feel like I have not earned she, her pronouns yet. That is just me. I am to each your own. So I will switch to she, her pronouns at some point. I think probably after I go through puberty of HRT. And we are testing out like a name change. So I don't know. I'll probably stay Jay on the channel, but who knows? That's everything. What else do you want to know? HRT also, I have a 8-pound triangle block of Beecher's cheese in my fridge right now from the HRC event.
There you go.
It's a giant triangle of cheese.
That's because Beecher's cheese is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Amazing, but that's a lot of cheese. 8 pounds of cheese.
As the first, I'm going to echo the chat and say, good for you, Jay. I'm happy for you. I want you to do what is going to make you the most complete of a person. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. Be a complete person. Okay. And that's the important thing, right? That's what we want for everyone. Public. Okay. Do some fun with that cheese. Okay. I want you to be a complete person. I'm happy for you. We're here to support you. Obviously, my spouse supports you. Et cetera, et cetera. You know. We do the deeper talks, folks, with people when Jay and I are not in front of cameras. So fuck you. Jay knows how I feel. Anyway, yeah. But I do want to say yes. Okay. In case you guys didn't figure this out, this channel is a place where we talk about this kind of stuff as much as Jay is comfortable, right? Where we will talk about these things and we will have these subjects, okay? And if you're not comfortable with that, here's what I'm going to do, actually. If you're not comfortable with it, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to stick the fuck around, right? Don't be an asshole in chat, because even if you don't agree with it and even if it makes you uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you need to open your mouth. We talked about this earlier in the show. You can keep some thoughts to yourself, hold it in. But I do want to challenge you to stick the fuck around. I want you to stick around so that maybe you learn some stuff. And maybe, just maybe, and I'm not saying we're trying to force an agenda. What I'm saying is allow for the fact that maybe the reason you're fucking uncomfortable is because you haven't been around it a whole lot and you just don't know a lot about it. And here's the thing, at the end of the day, Jay is still the person who I go do movie reviews with, right? We go to dinner. They are my wife's coworker. They are someone who is in our lives, right? At the end of the day, regardless of what Jay's pronouns were, or whether when Jay had a beard or does not have a beard, or was using he, him, or they, it doesn't fucking matter. The fact of the matter is, Jay is still the same person. Okay? Again, if you're uncomfortable, I challenge you to stick around and see if that helps. Okay? Again, don't be a dickhead in my chat or my comment section, but stick around and see if it helps. Okay? No, that actually was entirely coincidence. The color, my wife periodically will change the colors. She'll log into the app and be like, now it's fucking red because Alex is mad. Okay. No, it's entirely coincidental.
I like it.
That's a blue lightsaber. That won't change colors. Hang on, right there. Okay. So that is a blue lightsaber. These lights up here, these LEDs, they will change colors. I have one set of studio light that comes this way. I used to have two, but one of them burned out, or no, sorry, the cable ripped. Lighting's a pain in the ass, in case you didn't know.
It is. Oh my God.
Somebody in chat, in YouTube chat, is calling me Spicy Mr. Rogers.
I like it. I like it. Oh, yeah, there it goes. There it goes.
I don't know. Maybe that'll be our new segment, Spicy Mr. Rogers.
Spicy Mr. Rogers.
We're gonna have to come up with. Actually, that's not a terrible idea. You know what we need to do? That will be this will be an improvement for the show. We're gonna get some standardized segments. I see a lot of shows do this. We don't. We haven't. You know, we need to get some. Maybe we do need like Spicy Mr. Rogers is inspiring me. Maybe it's fucking some Sesame Street shit we need to do on this show, right? To help people out. Fucking meet your neighbors time. Yep. I love it.
Oh, that is good. Okay. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I'm writing this down.
Write that down.
I am writing it down right now.
Oh, God.
Spicy Mr. Rogers / Sesame Street segment.
Oh, that one's really good.
Yeah. Purple's appropriate. Okay. And again, just to put everybody's fucking minds at ease, if you thought that everybody on this show or anybody on this show the whole time was completely heterosexual, you were 100% wrong.
Suck it, nerds.
Okay? If you thought that was the case. Because it ain't true. Ain't nobody here fucking straight. Okay? And again, if you're uncomfortable with that, I encourage you to stick around. Okay? Because you might learn some shit. We're also not going to pressure Jay to share any more or less of their process than they feel like sharing. Okay? We still will talk about politics and video games and movies.
Yeah, because that's interesting. That is like really interesting.
Okay? Both Jay and I are waiting for Shrinking Season 3. Maybe that'll be a segment. Y'all need to watch Shrinking.
Oh my God.
It's one of
By the way, real quick, talking about therapy. Everyone says like become a lawyer, become a doctor, become an engineer.
Yeah.
I talked to my therapist about like, one, how do you become a licensed therapist? Second, pay. How much do they make? Like industry standard, how much do you typically pay fresh out of college? You have a license. How much do you get paid?
Not much.
Oh, it is a lot.
Is it?
It's a lot.
For that kind of therapist? Or for a straight counselor?
For any sort of licensed therapist.
Okay.
They are making $130 per hour. And typically she said her colleagues, all of her friends, do somewhere around 32 therapy hours per week. Do the math on that. Spoiler alert, it's like $225,000 a year.
Yeah, but that's before they account for their overhead costs and stuff like that. Office, do.
So no, that's if you work for an office. Like the office is paying you to be.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they pay.
So they're charging more. The office is charging more than that to cover their overhead costs, like rented shit.
Dog Dad said career change on top of everything. Jay, wow. That is way more.
Let me hint this out. As you were worried you were going to have to make a career change today. I take it that did not come to pass.
Dang. You actually talk to people, don't you?
My wife says words. Occasionally I hear her.
Yeah. So my company, who just had layoffs, who this week is currently really trying to hammer out budget stuff. My boss's boss said, "Hey Jay, I want to talk to you about your position." Ooh, mysterious. And then someone else asked, "Hey Jay," because this was like, "Tomorrow I want to talk to you about your position." Then another person, who would be the person that would probably be packing up my stuff as I'm being laid off or fired, was like, "Hey, I just want to make sure, are you going to be in the office tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be there. Yeah, I'll be there." Cool. Awesome. But turned out huge misunderstanding. It was a huge misunderstanding. And then they asked me, if I would like to have my job as they redefined it. And I said, I feel like I'm not going to have a job if I say no. So yes, I would still like to keep my job as you redefine my job. Thank you. So yeah, that was today.
Having a job is good though.
Having a job is really good, especially in this market right now.
Yep.
So.
All right, folks. 9:45. We've been going here for 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I think this is where we're going to call it for tonight. But we will be back next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Jay, say goodnight to the lovely people.
Holy podcast, Mr. Batman. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye.